Hello, good people. It's Rob Lee. You know, it's not difficult to control and destroy the masses of people when you control the mediums of information, when you control the flow of information, and when you enact laws which prohibit verification, when you imprison those who question the official narrative, and you censor the people who know the truth. In fact, it is a sign of the greatest form of cowardice when the truth is suppressed, and that's where we are currently at. My studies about Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Zionist movement and the history of Babylon sprang from my study of the Holy Scriptures. As a humble and lowly servant of the Almighty Father, I asked the Father to show me, teach me who is who of this world, of the Holy Scriptures, and to show me some of the mysteries of this world. The Father did answer me, and the understanding that He gave me has changed my life. I was able to see what really lives and walks among us, and it helped me to make sense of this world. And I finally understood the Father creating an adversary for His children. I understood who Jesus Christ was. And you and I have explored this mystery on this channel, and as of this video, I am convinced that many of those who claim that they believe, they cannot go further. They are bogged down in the mud from Babylonian church beliefs. Even though they claim that they don't have these, they still drag them around. Now let's look at Israel, Netanyahu, and the Zionist regime. And I think you'll see where this is going. This is not to hate on Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, or anybody else. It's simply the truth. Israel is a tiny country of 8 million people and a very small landmass. However, it is one of the richest states on earth, not for what it produces, but for the contributions made to it by those who are loyal to it. We live in a world where many folks and beings wake up daily, and their sole purpose in life is to ensure the existence of the Zionist movement and the State of Israel. They put this cause before their families and before their countries. In no country is this more prominent than the United States of America. The State of Israel possesses 300, yes, you heard me correctly, 300 nuclear weapons, and one of the strongest militaries in the world. Much of its military hardware comes directly from the United States, either free or at prices that border on being free. Actually, nothing is free. We all know this. Hardworking folk in the United States have to pay for those weapons. Therefore, with so much wealth, military protection, and love from the Judeo-Christians across the world, what's the problem? Why is Benjamin Netanyahu and his vast array of supporters always complaining and maintaining that enemies surround them and are out to get them? I firmly believe that every country, state, and every individual has the right to defend themselves. However, let's stay in reality and let's do what most folks are afraid to do. Let's tell the truth. No country would dare attack the State of Israel. America has its back, and frankly, with 300 nukes and a military that ranks as one of the world's most powerful, no country would be so stupid. The State of Israel, its leaders and supporters have a record of belligerence second to none. Israel proudly boasts of their Samson option. Now, if you don't know what this is, the Samson option is this: attack Israel, and they will destroy every major city in the world. Israel and the Judeo-Christian zombies of the United States are more than capable of causing untold pain to whomever they so choose. So how is it that Benjamin Netanyahu can dictate policy and secure the willing submission of the majority of the people and all institutions in a country that has the most powerful military in the world? Well, there are two answers. Netanyahu can dictate because the majority of the world, and especially Western culture, are under a strong delusion of believing one of the grossest lies ever to weave its way into the hearts and minds of those who profess to believe in the Bible. You have the State of Israel, and you have a biblical people called Jacob Israel. The question is, are they the same people? No, they are not. In fact, they are diametrically opposed and not related by any stretch. Yet this belief is common among the 100 million of the most naive people on this earth, here in the United States, the Judeo-Christians who serve Zionist Israel without any questions. They are like complete zombies. The Judeo-Christian population of the United States will go along with anything, emphasis on anything, that Netanyahu and the Zionists dictate to them. Many of them do this out of sheer fear. Many of them do this out of ignorance of the Holy Scriptures. And many of them do this because, quite frankly, they are not children of the Most High Father, even though they believe they are. The delusion of the Almighty Father is incredibly powerful. The blind, naive churchgoers will sell their souls. They will support the state of Israel mentally, emotionally, financially, yes, financially, to the tune of 15 to 30 billion a year that we know of, in military aid to enhance Israel's military supremacy in the Middle East. You see, the Judeo-Christians do not care about Jesus the Christ. They care about all things that are relevant to Zionist Israel. Not the poor, not the widows and orphans, not the unborn, not the downtrodden of the world, but Zionist Israel. And for this, they are going to suffer in ways that they cannot comprehend, but they will surely feel. The second part of the answer is control from within. If you are to conquer a nation and not let them know that they are being conquered, you do it from within. You pretend to be their friend as you plot their own demise. Netanyahu and his predecessors have demanded the Congress, the Senate, the President, and the churches adopt policies designed to do whatever benefits the state of Israel and the Zionist movement, even if it means, folks, sacrificing the lives, freedoms, and way of living for the people of the United States. This is total power. Imagine what I'm telling you, folks. A leader of another country comes to the United States and dictates policy that undermines its own people, and the people cheer for the conqueror. There are many reasons that Netanyahu is received as a conqueror when he visits or speaks to the United States. Netanyahu's demonic arrogance is derived from the power of his supporters that are deeply embedded in the evangelical, military, entertainment, political, and financial power structures of the United States. Zionist Israel, by its own admission, controls the United States. They have openly admitted this. And many of you search YouTube for your information. I want to share something with you. When I study Israel, I go to their websites. I watch their news. I read their books. I read their articles. Why would I want to go and listen to somebody on YouTube who works for them? I've never been able to grasp people when all these so-called truth seekers, and they'll go to YouTube and they'll watch a video of somebody who works for these people, and then they'll come back and regurgitate the same old shit. If you want to know about Israel, if you want to know about Zionism, go to them. Go to them. That's what I do. All right, let's move forward. I just had to share that. The Zionist Israel, the movement, they have an entire spider web of political organizations, government officials, propaganda mills, media moguls, talking heads, shills, liars from the left, the right, the center, billionaires, millionaires, whose sole allegiance is to the Zionist movement and not the United States. The churches, Hollywood, and the internet are designed to cater to the every whim and desire of the state of Zionist Israel. This is not hate, folks. This is a fact. In fact, it doesn't anger me and it doesn't make me hate them. This is my Father's will being done. Netanyahu can be arrogant, brazen, and can sneer with that crooked smile because after decades of Zionist domination of the United States, Netanyahu knows that he comes not as an outside power, but as a leader and spokesperson of an inside power that has conquered the United States. So you see, Netanyahu can act as dictator because the majority of the people of this country have been converted into docile and complicit subjects by the Babylonian power structure. Netanyahu follows the political precept of his predecessor, Ariel Sharon, who said, and I quote, "We lead the U.S. by the nose." For proof of this, folks, simply look at the churches, the internet, the media, corporations, banks, universities, and all entertainment, all of it. For the Zionist machine to roll, it takes money. Money. It takes a lot of money. Not their money, though. Prominent among Netanyahu's financial bankers and backers are a group of prominent Zionist billionaires who lent to millions of poor, naive, desperate folks in this country at extortionate rates between 1,400 and 4,000%. Yes, you heard me correct. They also played a leading role in the fraudulent mortgage-induced crisis of 2009. I'm sure you all remember Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which the American people had to foot the bill. Netanyahu's financial backers are predator lenders. This means that they will prey on the most weak people and they look for people at the most weakest point of their life and they prey on it. It's incredibly how truly evil they are. They include Al Goldstein, co-founder of Avant Credit and CashNet USA, Sasha Orloff and Jacob Rosenberg, founders of LendUp, Daniel Gilbert, founder of Quicken Loans, Ronald Arnall, owner of AmeriQuest. All of these people are predator subprime lenders. These men ruin lives, and they do it without even the slightest remorse. It is the Zionist power configuration which allows Netanyahu to dominate and demonstrate to the world that Israel can and will dictate U.S. policy. It is readily apparent to any free-thinking person who has even an ounce of discernment the United States will continue to support Zionist Israel until the Most High Almighty Father has accomplished his plan. I give you a quote in closing from Netanyahu. America is a golden calf. We will suck it up. We will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it piece by piece until there is nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state. When we are done with America, it can dry up like dog shit and blow away. This was said by Benjamin Netanyahu as he was leaving the prison cell of convicted spy and traitor Jonathan Pollard, who was caught stealing nuclear secrets from the United States for Israel. This is what Benjamin Netanyahu really thinks of the United States in all Western cultured countries. Now, I tell you now, and what I'm going to tell you, I am 100% certain of this statement. If Netanyahu were to go into any church in the United States, be it Catholic or Baptist, Protestant, it doesn't matter. Any church in this country, if he were to stand up before the largest mega church in this country, 25,000 people, and if he were to say that directly to them, they would cheer for him. You see, good people, when the devil can openly mock the people to their faces and tell them they're going to be destroyed, and the people smile and cheer, folks, the churchgoers are lost, and the true Creator has allowed the devil to have them. Right now, as I make this video, only a very few folks on this earth have not been given into the hands of the devil and his children. Groups like the SPLC, the ADL, B'nai B'rith, and more are in place to defend and support Zionist Israel. They are there to deflect any honest criticism or truth that may bring Zionist Israel into the light for all to see. If these organizations were really like us and of us, they would defend you and me. They would defend our right to free speech. They would care about the unborn. They would care about the hungry, the homeless, the sick, and so much more. Jesus Christ said to them, "Ye are not of my sheep." John chapter 10. We must continually seek the love and protection from our Father through his Son, Jesus the Christ. To be in this war, folks, the only way you can be in it is to have Jesus Christ with you. The Almighty Father gave Jesus Christ all power, all power. The destruction of our nations, folks, has been well orchestrated. Western cultured countries have done exactly as was prophesied. They have denied the Father and Jesus Christ. And for this betrayal, the punishment will be harsh. Many folks get angry, they scream, shout, and lose sleep over the evil of this world. Brethren, it may be hard for you to understand, it may be hard for you to accept, but this is your Father's will being done. When Jesus prayed to his Father in what is commonly called the Lord's Prayer, Jesus said, "Thy will be done," and indeed it will be. And we should smile that it is being done. We should have complete trust and faith in our Father. Complete faith and trust in our Father. In the coming weeks, I plan on doing a few important videos and editing a few of my older works for the people to have. They will be about Genesis 6, chapter 6. We've done 3, 4, and 5, and I wanted to finish up with Genesis chapter 6 about the flood and the giants, because most people don't really understand what it really means. I want to identify biblical Israel for you so that you may show others. I would like to do a couple videos about weather warfare, the balance of this life, and a few important health issue videos. Then, folks, I believe for the first time, and I say this with confidence, that we're going to have to build a house for us to congregate and to learn together outside of the Google apparatus. And I believe that this is finally coming, and it's going to come to fruition for the first time. I've never really said it with confidence, because there always seemed like there was something there that was going to hold us back. And now I really feel like the Father's finally saying, I'm going to make it happen. Not me, but he's going to make it happen. The suppression of truth on Google and YouTube is getting worse. It's going to get to the point, folks, that they're simply going to remove anybody, any and everybody, if you criticize the system at all. And this is going to get worse. This is the beast system. May the Almighty Father bless you all. Love one another. Love your Father. Love Jesus Christ. And may the Father bless you all in the glorious name, the only name that saves, Jesus the Christ.